All right, I'm back. All right, so welcome to another wonderful episode of Batman Radio. Like I was saying, I've already accomplished the impossible, man. I've accomplished the impossible time and time again. Like I said, I have the formula, I have the game. I'm dropping jewels on here, man. People just got to learn to listen. You know what I mean? If they listen, they'll learn something. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm in full control of this platform. I'm in full control of everything. You know what I mean? Like, it's a great position to be in, man. Like I said, I'm an independent CEO. Everything I built from scratch with my own bare hands and my genius mind. I continue to build every single day. Like that's the thing. While other folks is wasting time, like I'm about to get out the journal and notepad right now and go over more business ideas and really start researching so I can already start to work on building them. Like that's the thing, bro. I've seen like these folks up in New York get on camera on here, talk about they building a business when they just googling some business ideas and trying to copy those ideas. I seen folks try to, and that in New York is notorious for that. I don't know why they be trying to sell watches like the little wrist watches and stuff, like the super cheap ones. You know what I'm saying? Like and there's nothing against it. Like a hustle is a hustle. Like, you know what I mean? Like I want to see everybody making a hustle, but it just makes me think and it makes me wonder, like, yeah, man, New York must be kind of rough, bro. No wonder it must be kind of hard to make it. And they say like if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. I don't really agree with that at all. I just think that they're talking about the finances, like the economy there, the dichotomy. You know what I mean? Because we know what's going on in all the neighborhoods in New York and the agenda and what they're doing. You understand what I'm saying? So like that's what that is about. You know what I mean? And like I said, like the wages are higher because the living cost is higher, but the living cost is like sky high. You know what I mean? So that's part of the problem. And it just makes everything more difficult. And that's the thing. Like I always look at people and ask that question, like, at some point, do you ever just realize that? For me personally, like I'm not going to be a part of that. I'm not going to be a part of none of that. You know what I'm saying? Because like me, I need time off. I need time to focus on me. You know what I mean? I like to relax and like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I need a real vacation still. You know what I mean? I've been working since I was 16. I'm 36, bro. I'm gonna be 40 in 4 years. You know what I mean? And my birthday's coming up too. So it's like I'm almost gonna be 37, bro. That's crazy. 3 years I'll be 40. I'm aging backwards and I'm an immortal vampire. You know what I'm saying? Like life is crazy, man. Like I said, like I'm just saying, we don't come from the same walk, man. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. A lot of folks on this network should have been listening to me. They should be listening to me, man, because I got the real game, and the game is to be sold, not told. They should be paying me. See, these folks, if they want to build a successful business, they should be my clients. See them, the folks that want to type in the chat rooms and you know what I mean, and type this and that and say whatever, they should be paying me because without my game and without my knowledge, how are you going to succeed? Truly, like this is not an easy platform to make it on. It's not an easy business to have, build, start, or run. It takes work. And that's the thing too, is like I know these folks didn't earn it. Does that make sense? I know they didn't earn it. I know they didn't do it genuinely, so that's why it's odd to me. You know what I mean? Because they don't seem to understand, like, if you don't do it genuinely and you don't earn it, how do you expect to win? You know what I mean? Like, that's the funny part to me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for me personally, like, man, I ain't buying it, bro. You know what I mean? See, that's the thing. I got proof for every statement I say. Like, I don't, what's up? You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, I'm completely solidified. Like I said, I don't got no holes in my rap sheet. Like, I'm thorough as they come. So everything I'm talking about is an actual fact. I don't even make mistakes, bro. And this is the thing. Like I said, I come from a totally different walk, than regular folks. I come from a totally different walk. I was never the same. You know what I mean? Like I said, I never wanted to fit in. You know what I mean? Like I said, like, bro, I really accomplished all this and everything I set out to do, I accomplished. Like, I really won. And that's the reason, like, now there's not so much to do, but I'm gonna keep on pushing, with the training, of course. Like I told you, I just gotta have off days because it's meant so that I can, replenish and rebuild and recuperate a little bit, you know, and just try to get back on point, you know what I mean? That way hopefully I can, enable myself to have more time to do the things that I love doing and do the things that I want to do. And that's the thing that I've learned and what I've realized about life in general is if something is not worth my time or my energy, or I'm not giving it my time and energy. If something is not conducive and productive and positive for me going in the right direction, why would I pay it any mind? Like this is the thing, like I said, folks is in their feelings. You can see it with every action every day. I can see it right now, right? And that's fine because I'm a superstar no matter what. See, that's the thing. Folks aren't in control. Folks can desire and want control all they want, but they're powerless. They have no control. They never did. You understand? Me, I have full control. I'm in control all the time without trying. And this is all business acumen and business advice, but you again would need to pay me so you can learn it. You can't just listen and I say something, it doesn't work like that because it's not going to translate over because I have to actually lead by example. I got to teach, I got to show, I got to demonstrate. That's why like with the live training, we do demonstrations so people can see what I'm offering and what I'm building and what it is. Like I said, I had actual gym owners in the valley talking about let's do business. And then like I said, they was asking me like odd, weird personal questions and I just didn't respond and didn't answer. And then like I said, they didn't say anything to me after that. Why? Because they probably peeped game and realized what I'm on. Like, why are you asking me questions about what I got going on? Like, that's not what you said we were going to talk about. You see what I'm saying? Like, I hold a man at his word. So, like, if a man gives me his word and I'm the only real man who ever existed, I expect that man to back up his word. So if he say he going to do something, because homie was talking about, let's talk, let's do business. He owns one of the gyms right here in the valley. You understand? So, you understand what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I only answer questions that make sense to me to answer and make sense, period, and are productive and conducive for me. Like if you were saying we was going to do business, why did we not do business? You see what I'm saying? That's what is funny to me. People talk about making money, but when you're a big guy like me, right, and you have the demeanor I do, right, it's common sense, right? So it's not the same for me. You know what I mean? Because a lot of folks is already in their feelings just because of my nature and demeanor and because I'm a big guy. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm very powerful. So like when people see that, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, and that's cool. That's out of my control. But my whole point is like, we're just not the same, man. You know what I mean? We never been the same. Like that's the thing. You could be a gym owner, you could own a restaurant, you could own a bar. If you own a bar, it just means you own a name. You don't own the building, 9 times out of 10. And if you do own the building, then you filthy rich. If you own the building, you rich. Because the buildings usually cost like $1 million to a couple of $1 million normally. I mean, it's gonna cost you at least, I don't even know if they sell buildings for a $500,000. I'm sure they do, but it's generally going to cost you. I mean, it's going to have to be over 350,000 probably, immediately. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you rich. I mean, that's the thing. Folks be talking about this and that. I mean, like, listen to what Charles Wofford was kicking and talking about. He talking about a van for 20 grand, a van for 30 grand, and a van for 20 grand. They don't even sell vans for 20 or $30,000 because it's a van. Vans don't cost 20 to 30,000 like at all, pretty much. I don't care how nice they are. That's number one, right? Number two, you don't really be getting vans like brand new off the lot. They're almost always used cars, right? Because it's like a struggle vehicle. So like I'm just wondering, like I said, like, I got time to focus on what's real, man. Like I said, if you had 30,000 and 20,000, that would be 50,000, which, we know that that's not true. But my point is, if you had $50,000 or even 30,000 or 20,000, I mean, that's already being rich. So in the process, you see what I'm talking about the walking contradiction. Folks be talking, and it's a literal contradiction of what they should be saying. They're answering their own question and proving my point right without me trying. If you had 20,000 or $30,000, then what's the excuse? And I mean, any person who had any business intellect based off of their experience in the past, if they really dealt with money or ever had money, is going to know, if I got 30, 20,000, I'll tell you the first thing I'm not doing is I'm not buying a van. I'll take that 30,000 and I'll invest it into stocks. That's what I'll do, and create dividends. I don't care if I have to start small and I invest a portion, or I'd invest all of it and struggle if I had to, and act like I had nothing because, well, me, I have the luxury to do that because I've already hustled so hard and made and spent more money than your entire government combined. You see what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. Like folks don't get with me. I'm just a genius. I got a beautiful mind, right? So once I get the right people around me that actually want to be human and support me, and God will give me that. I already know. Once I get that, and I get people to just let me get started, you know what I mean? Like it's going to help me tremendously. I already talked to someone today. Like I said, like there's fans, bro. They're a fan. They're cool. They're nice, and like they already said, I told them like, yeah, I don't have much money right now. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I just don't. I don't have a lot of cash at all. You know what I mean? And I've been working so hard on building this business, and like I said, they pay like 1/100 of a cent for over 1,000 views. Like I took something that barely pays and turned it into a source of real money and income, and made a living off of it for three going on 3 years. And it's good that it's good in a way that it doesn't make a whole lot of income. Actually, it's a good thing. See, that's the thing. Folks don't understand because they're not listening. They don't know what they're talking about because they have no experience. Me, I'm a financial connoisseur. I know what I'm talking about. But yeah, like I told them, like, yeah, I need like a bicycle. What I really need is an electric bike or an electric scooter. I need something electric. You know what I mean? And that's what they have, and it's super cool. Like it was super nice. I saw the bike, like it's super nice. So that's my point. Like, you know, I need people like that around me that want to support what I'm doing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like if I could get just something like that, even an electric bike like that alone, do you know how much that would help me just to propel me forward with this business? Because that would be like the bat cycle right there, and then I would be able to ride all the miles I want to ride. Because like me, I like to travel a lot of miles, like really about realistically about 20 miles in a day is what I'll do, to 20 to 30. Really it's 30, you know what I mean? Because I go around and I have to go around and ride around. But that's my thing. Like I need electric bicycles, I need electric scooters, right? There's a couple other elements I need. Um, you know, it's just common sense stuff, but like I said, I build my own bat suits. I had the bat cycle. I mean, I don't know if I can get somebody to fix that at some point somehow. I mean, it's just the wiring. But like I said, I put 1,300 into that. It ain't nothing. Like I said, I got 7 bikes in inventory, all $200 to $300 plus each. I mean, it goes to show that no, this costs money. I put a lot of money into this. When I say I funded the Batman project for 3 years, that's what I'm talking about. Like I said, the bulletproof vest I got is a level 3 hard plate. I paid over $10,000 for it. So usually when I'm walking and talking to people, I'm wearing over $10,000 on me, and I got 530 on my wrist. Like what? So that's the thing. Like, no, it wasn't easy. Like everything I do is official tissue, and folks see that. And that's the thing I've noticed. Like, you know, folks see me shine, and it just is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna keep shining. I'm gonna keep shining to the best of my ability, because like I said, everybody's pretty much acknowledged like nobody's on my level. They may have acknowledged it in an indirect way, but they acknowledged it nonetheless that like I'm on a level that folks just can't reach and can't come close to. That's the fact. So because I'm amazing, right? It is what it is. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like I just realized it comes with the territory. You know what I mean? I'm watching different stories unfolding in this country on YouTube, and everything comes down to respect for others and love. You know what I mean? If people would learn how to treat each other better and we would work on that, like Tupac was saying, and like I'm saying, and I'm an activist and I speak publicly and I'm on the same stuff saying the same thing, you know, we get a lot farther, man. We do a lot better, man. You know what I mean? People are making big mistakes, man, just because they don't have any emotional self-control, you know what I mean? Or whatever, because people talk. I mean, it's the truth. Like people are gonna talk. You know what I mean? The internet is a little different situation, you know what I mean? But even then, like you have to be able to just listen, like right? And like you gotta, you know what it is. Like you have to have emotional self-control. That's what works in this game. Nothing else. This is a different game. That's what people don't understand. This is not the streets. The streets is a whole different ball game. You know what I mean? And I come from the street for real. Okay? The real streets. Okay? So that's the thing. Like I use it as an edge and advantage because I came on here and I didn't realize it, but I'm really realizing it now. And I look around and I'm like, none of these folks have a street background. That's why they feel how they do. You understand? Because I understand what I represent to them. You know what I mean? So you can see it's kind of like a chihuahua. You know how the chihuahua barks a lot when you come around? The chihuahua, is clearly operating from a basis of what? Fear. So the chihuahua barks a lot, and overcompensates. And that's what I realize is going on here. So that's my thing. Like I said, like folks don't come from the street like me. They don't have a street background, and I really do. So at some point you got to kind of realize, look, I'm not the same, and I really am what I say I am, right? So I got to kind of take a step back, right? Is the smartest thing to do and assess the situation and analyze. That's why I analyze behavior. Whatever behavior is displayed in front of me or to me, I just identify it and I pay attention. And then that's why they tell you don't react or you don't react, you observe. You know what I mean? Because you have to learn, number one, self-reflection. And number two, what most people can't understand, right, and can't do, and is the whole problem and the underlying issue is they don't know how to self-reflect. But furthermore, in the same aspect is self-control, especially self-control of emotions. That's the hardest thing, I think, for any human being is controlling your emotions when you feel some way, that you have every right to feel the way you do. You know what I mean? A lot of folks like me, I'm all about respect. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, the internet is a different situation because it's the internet. So you got to let that stuff go, period. And it's crazy to me because people don't seem to understand that. Like I said, you get as far as the people you talk for no reason, and you'll get as far as what you put your efforts and time and energy into. So if you focus in on, oh, this happened, whatever, this was said to me, how are you going to succeed? If you focused on games, if you focused on chat rooms, if you focused on whatever, it's the complete opposite philosophy of what I teach. If you're on the internet, right, and you're feeling like, I don't know, you're accomplishing something on the internet, what are you accomplishing? Are you really making money? Because I've made money consistently, and I've made a lot more money than everyone on this network. Just talking and doing what I do. I mean, are we ever going to accept and talk about that? I've ran circles around everybody, man. Like, are you serious? Billions in equity, mansion and estate, over 2,000 in jewelry, 530 on my wrist. Got you pissed. Mineral rights, oil royalties, own my own car lot, pay over $100 for it every month. I don't say this stuff for no reason. I say it because it matters. I told you over 2,000 in jewelry, right? Sometimes I be forgetting stuff. You remember I got that watch up there in Minneapolis. I bought it for a deal too. I think I paid like 100 for it, and it's worth like $200-300. You remember that? I still got that one too. I don't know if it's got like diamonds in it or something like that. I don't know. It's nice though, you know. And that's the other thing too. Like you got to understand. I mean that's nothing to me. You know what I mean? That's nothing. But my point is, I be seeing stuff every day on the news, man. Especially on YouTube, like tons of stuff. And like that's the thing. Like like if you got money or you get money, like you don't want to tell everyone that you have money. I think that's why God repetitively keeps telling me, when you get this bread and you get this money, don't speak about it. You understand what I'm saying? Because it makes sense. Like this is the new day and age, and it's not new. It's always been like this. It's just becoming a different environment. So that's the thing. People is trying to act like, oh, this new generation is so whatever. Well, no, what it is it's the same thing. It's the opposite of what I'm teaching, and that mentality doesn't work. You understand? That's why we have these problems in society. It's the truth. That's the only reason I'm able to turn on YouTube and see all these different news stories, because folks are not thinking and they're making bad decisions because they're impulsive. Most of it comes from impulsive behavior. So that's what I'm saying. If you learn how to control your emotions and self-control, and at least dictate and control your own actions, and you start, being tough enough to start being more resilient and less reactive and less responsive, and don't get me wrong, like trust me, I'm from the street. I understand the reality. I understand how it is, and I understand it's the opposite and totally different. But what I'm saying is, you have to be tough enough to, just like this career. Like I've heard everything in the book you could possibly think of, and I'm still right here, still doing my career speaking publicly. I've been through everything you can think of, and I'm still right here speaking publicly. That's the difference, because most folks, pretty much anyone and everyone, would have just given up. Trust me. You know what I mean? I've been through hell. I've been through things folks couldn't even fathom or imagine, repetitively. You know what I mean? And it's been back to back to back to back to back. I mean, God knows. Everybody knows. So that's what I'm saying. Like, like learn from me and use me as an example, like of the way to go. You notice how people always say, like, oh, listen to me and what I went through and use it as an example of what not to do. I'm telling you the opposite. Use me as an example of what to do. Learn how to get smart. Learn how to start outsmarting everybody and really get smart. Learn how to start making conscious, calm decisions. See, I didn't get any less gangster. I got a lot smarter. That's what folks got to understand. And it's not, I didn't get just, I didn't really get, I mean, I've gotten smarter, but I'm saying it wasn't just like that. It was like I learned the game. I started figuring out with my gifts what folks are on and what they trying to do. So now I'm so far ahead of everybody. I'm 8 million steps ahead of everyone. There's no way to outsmart me. There's no way to get over on me, because I'm practically omnipotent and I can read minds. You understand? So I have the gift of intuition, and like I can see intentions, I can feel energies. I'm real sensitive to energies. So that's what folks don't get. Like me, I'm a very sensitive, emotional person. You know what I mean? But I'm also, like cold as an igloo. Like I could be cold to the core. You know what I mean? It all depends on, how I want to be. It's just a decision. That's what I'm telling you. Everything in life is a decision. And what people don't understand, and I do understand, is that every decision dictates your entire future, and it dictates everything. I'm talking about for everything. It dictates the way your whole future will go and your entire life, based off of every single little decision. The decisions that you think may not matter may be the biggest decisions that you ever make. And that's what I see every day, is a lot of people don't think like me because they're not awoken beings. So if you're not awoken, you fall, victim to this, and you make these mistakes. Whereas a guy like me is a lot less likely to make the mistake, because I have foresight and I'm thinking. And if I'm thinking coherently and clearly, and I remind myself enough, I speak this stuff like affirmations to myself every day. See, I speak affirmations for real to myself and it works. I speak affirmations for success, wealth, happiness, love, and prosperity. People think affirmations just means repeating the same stuff over and over. That doesn't matter. It's about speaking it, but you got to really process and take it in and understand it. So if you speak affirmations like I do every day, because I keep telling myself what it is, the reality that I'm going to make conscious, calm decisions. It can be chaos around me. It has been a lot of times, and I'm going to still remain calm and make good, solid choices and decisions, even in how I speak and how I act and what I'm doing next. Why? Because the enemy and the agents of Satan and the devil that's real, because everything is spiritual and a spiritual complexity in this realm, and that's what people don't understand. That's what the enemy wants. That's what the devil wants. He wants to take advantage. He wants to have you thrown off your game. He wants to trick you off your throne. And this is what life's about, and folks don't understand it because they have no faith. This is literally all life is about. You're on a spiritual playing field. Does that make sense? Like I told you, when I went to that trip out there in Kentucky and all that, and they said this is basically like spiritual boot camp. And I didn't completely understand it then, but I thought about it and I listened and I said, man, that makes a lot of sense. And the same dude who said that was a dude who, was all over the place, didn't really know what he was talking about. You know what I mean? Like it was a whole lot of, being devoid of knowledge. There was no knowledge there. And, he would hoot and holler while he was, fake preaching and this and that. And they'd wait and whatever you would do, right? They were all narcissists. So they would use it and then they would use it as leverage and then bring it up in their sermons, which is just a no-no. I mean, you just don't do that, period. To sit there and pretend that you're teaching anyone anything, you're not teaching anyone anything. You're not in a position to teach. You know what I mean? That's not even like a real title. You know what I mean? Like I said, you don't get ordained by a church. You get ordained by God, first of all. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the thing. All that stuff to me is fake. That's just how I feel about it 100%. It's not how I feel. I saw it because like mostly in them church groups and the ministry homes and everything I witnessed and saw, because I've been through it. I came up in the churches in Florida, Dallas. I came up through the church system. I seen a lot of, I didn't come up I came up in the hood, but then I had to go to the church system because I needed help. And I was by myself surviving and I went through too much. So like, that's my deal. Like I go over there looking for help and they ended up, putting me back in the ghetto. They put me in a ghetto that was rougher than the one I just came out of. That's how I learned. Like I learned that the system and all of that, all them groups, all that stuff is designed. It's not designed to help us. This has been a circuit the entire time, man. These folks are not our friends. You understand? You saw it with that ministry thing, man. Come on, man. All the ministries came together out there in Kentucky. They all came together in Oklahoma. It was cool. Don't get me wrong. I had fun. It was a great experience. I'm not like, don't get me wrong. I loved it. It was a cool experience. I had a lot of fun. It was cool. I enjoyed it, but it also was very hard on me, mainly because of what I go through and what I go through physically. But it was just hard on me, period, man. It was, the people all had their own agenda. It wasn't really a loving, good energy. And then, you could see what was going on. And like I said, like we already went over the facts on that and we already know what they do and it's in news articles and everything, you know what I'm saying? But that's the thing, like, I mean, you can't serve two masters. And that be the craziest thing to me that folks don't seem to understand. You just don't do that. You don't play with God. That's one thing you don't play with. So, I mean, when you got folks like that, and they literally came from living under a bridge, this is fact. And you can see they have habits and you can see what it is with them and the cycles they repeat and what they on and how they entertain and say delusion that's not there and they do it on purpose, right? That's all cute. But like I said, all of them are still in the same position. You know, they don't have much. They don't have anything. They didn't come from nothing. They don't have anything. So that's what I'm saying. All they know how to do is obsess and worry about other folks who are doing what I'm doing, because I'm living my life and I'm succeeding and building every day. You see what I'm saying? Like, my whole point is, like, I do the impossible pretty much every day in front of you because of my mentality, because of my mindset. Like, I really have that Batman mentality and Batman mindset. Like, it's a real thing, because again, I'm the real deal. I'm the prophecy. I'm what all the depictions are about. So I'm trying to teach you something. This works for business too. I have real business acumen. It works. I'm an unstoppable force in every aspect. You understand? And a lot of it is because I can control my emotions to a T. I'm not manipulative. I'm an empath. But like I said, when I want to be, I can be a master manipulator. I know how to influence in a positive way. Everything I use is only for good. I use everything in a positive light. I know how to influence and, like I said, get what I want. You understand? Like, come on, man. That's why it'd be funny to me, because people just don't seem to understand it. Like, you know what I mean? That's why when folks be talking about women and money to me, I'm like, you don't want to talk to me about women, bro. I got, like I said, I got more wins and experience with women than Wilt Chamberlain, dude. Like, women love me. Well, that's number one. And I have a lot of women who are fans, you know what I mean, as we speak. And gee, I wonder why. I'm a good looking dude. I'm handsome as it get. Oh, nobody looked this good. That's the truth. That's just a fact. That's why folks is phased. That's why they on what they on. Like I said, most of it has to do with the fact I'm beautiful and the way I look. The readings told me everything about how people feel about it. It made it very clear. I know exactly how folks feel. They losing it. And then, you know, you got to see my face everywhere. It's kind of like dealing with Eminem, and I rap and make music too, but like, that's not what I've been focusing on right now. I'm focusing on this project that I've ran out my own pocket for 3 years, right? So the point is, you seeing my face everywhere though. It's the same type of thing. It's the same thing as a record label. Like when all them record labels was coming up, it's the same thing that Eminem did. It's just I'm not doing it with only rap. I'm doing it with a skill in martial arts and 52 blocks and the entire Batman project, everything that I'm doing and partaking in and participating in, and I created and I built and I continue to build off of. That's the way I'm doing it. But it's basically the same thing, because these folks got to wake up and look at their phone, and the first thing they see half the time probably is my beautiful face. So they feel some way about it. That's the thing folks don't get. I don't need your help. I don't need your support. I've done this by myself the entire time. I'll continue to keep on trucking by myself. Again, I want, and I say need as, it's not literal. That's the problem. Some people think everything is literal, and that's the whole issue, right? Because it's just common sense, right? But, like, nah, bro, like, people know what it is with me, bro. You know what I mean? I stay succeeding and I stay winning because I have the right mentality. You understand? So, like, people can talk, but I'm a marketing and promotion genius. I'm a marketing genius. Like I said, I did the best numbers on New Year's for them clubs on 6th Street. They all know it. I ran the show at every bar I worked at. I ran the show and was the boss. And it came on the readings back then. It said that folks felt some way because they saw me glowing, meaning I was looking good doing what I was doing. And me, I was always the one that was in the middle of everything. I was the real guy, the real man. And as usual, the gangster and the thug. So that's the thing. Like, we can't rewrite history when we know reality and the facts. The same folks that were around me all the time, and anything they needed to say, they could have spoken and said how they felt. And they never took an opportunity to do that. So that's super fake. So that's how you know anything they saying, right? That's why I correct it immediately on my public platform, and I get paid to correct it because I get paid to talk, right? That's how you know everything they saying is disingenuous, because, like I said, they speak one way on the internet, right? In reality, they talk a whole different way. Like you can't just rewrite all of reality and act and you know, like you don't dictate reality, God does. So what do you mean? Sure. That's what folks don't understand. Nobody dictates or controls anything over here or my reputation, and it's all backfired because God is real and He protects me. My reputation is solid as it gets. My word is law, my word is bond. You understand? So that's the thing. Like, folks don't know me. How could they speak on me? You know what I mean? And we all know who I actually am. So, like I said, folks can't talk about me or speak on me. That's common sense. So see, that's the thing. It's different when I'm around. If I'm around, it's a totally different environment and energy. When I'm not around, yeah, that internet stuff. That's what folks do. You know, the internet and the phone games, like R. Kelly. That's cute. Pick up the phone. Ridiculous. I'm gonna keep getting paid. That's what I'm gonna do. See, I'm gonna keep getting paid. See, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about what folks say. I'm not worried about who want to listen to me. You want to listen to me, you're gonna learn something. It's that simple. If you don't want to learn something, you don't have to listen to me. If you do want to learn something, you probably should listen to me. Because I could teach you anything because I've been there, done that, seen it all. Like I've really done it all and seen it all. That's the difference. You understand? I'm talking from every spectrum. All the tough stuff, I've done it. So that's why it's funny to me. You understand what I'm saying? Because these folks don't get that means everything. That's why I'm Batman the Alchemist, because I had to alchemize all this. I had to build this off of no budget and no money, literally none. I didn't have a dime. I told you I went from $0 to $2 to what, 550 quickly. You feel me? Like, bro, you know, what am I at right now? Let me show. I'll tell you the math and everything. I don't mind. I don't care. Look, hold up. Yeah, I think I'm at like $289.74. That's like with everything accruing and everything that's gonna come in. You know what I mean? Because it's different. Because some of it has to accrue and come in whenever it comes in, and it takes a long time. It takes months. But my point is, I just got me like a brand new charger cable and the charger hub, the port, right? Because I'm thinking ahead, and a lot of times the charger cord, it'll get like pocket lint in it or something, and it'll just completely stop working or it won't plug in. So I'm thinking ahead on that already. So I'm already ahead on that. Paid the phone bill already on the 5th. That just happened, right? What is it? It's just the 10th today, 5 days away. I paid it before the 5th, actually. So I already had the money in the little wallet, so it would cover the payment. You see me keep moving. You see me, I've been ahead on everything. You see me, I keep handling my responsibilities as a grown man. I pay for a car lot over $100 every month. I got a portion there. I paid $25,000 cash for it. There wasn't nothing wrong with it. Like I said, they had a mechanic down here work on it, and it's the same thing. It's the same jellyfish stuff. And like I said, I'm probably gonna get paid a massive settlement for that too, actually. Because it's easy to prove in court what happened. So, I mean, it should be. I mean, I'm not worried either way. But my point is, that's the thing. Like, I'm not worried about what I got. I don't got to prove nothing. People know reality. People know what's happened. You understand? So that's the thing. I'm not even worried about it because, like, God is going to give me my money that I deserve and earned and what's rightfully mine regardless. These people don't get like I got it all, man. I own vehicles, I own estates, I own everything. I got full access to buildings. I got deals worked out, full access to buildings worth billions of dollars. I ain't hearing what nobody talking about. And I constantly expand. Like I said, like I'm gonna get more situations created like that. And that's the thing. My situations are practically free. Hmm Or just a little bit of money I pay. That's it. And when I want. Like that's what folks don't get. Folks love me. Folks know what I'm on. Folks know what I'm doing. Like folks don't feel any way but positive and good about me and my hustle and me doing what I need to do for me. My whole thing is I'm a grown man. I don't need to explain anything because people don't understand. I put up independent capital for everything I do. I've paid every bill, every expense. I paid 8,500 in land taxes. Okay. I used to pay grown men's light bills. I paid and helped, I gave the homeless food, clothing, and shelter out my own pocket. I'm telling you, I paid everybody's bills. I paid everything you could imagine. I've given folks thousands of dollars just because they asked. I've done everything for everyone. That's why I told you I took care of the valley. The valley going to take care of me. So fact, I basically created the economy in the valley, literally, and I got receipts to prove it. All them hotels I paid for, right? Remember all these folks was trying to make up stories back then, and I showed the receipts and proved everything they were saying wrong. As if it mattered, as if me being in hotels would make a difference. I mean, it was besides the fact, because what was being said wasn't true in the first place. So what do you mean? I mean, tell me where I haven't won. I mean, I have all the assets, I have all the equity. I told you everything would come together and it would all mend and put itself together and all the dots and pieces would connect. And that's exactly what happened. I have it all. God provides. I've had it all my entire life, this entire time. And the positions that I was in because of narcissism, because of folks making up stories and lies, were the hardest, most toughest positions to be in and the most stressful, right? And I was really, going through it. And I handled it all like a boss and a G. And I didn't lose my property. And all of it ended up being a blessing in disguise because while I was moving around, running around, it put me in a position where I was able to find and figure out, I lived in that shelter. I went to work 6 in the morning every day, did temp work, and paid off my property taxes. And when I was almost done completely paying them off, I hired my own real estate agent, broker, whatever, and I sold it for 100 racks, $100,000. It should have been 150,000. We all know, right? Why it's not, right? We know what happened. So my point is, I mean, ended up being a blessing in disguise because that was all that mattered. Like I said, I did everything I had to do. I sacrificed. I went without. I mean, you know what I mean? Like I had folks come to them temp jobs and bring me stuff just for me that I needed because I couldn't even afford anything because every month I was having to pay $500 to $1,000 for a tax payment every single month. See, these folks want to talk about money, but I mean, do you understand that I literally have paid land taxes on more than one property, consecutive two properties at a time? What are you talking about? Like what? Good. You see what I'm saying? Like folks don't understand. I'm a real man. I'm a real boss. I get the job done. See, I'm not these other homies. That's the difference. That's why when I speak to folks, I'm like, do you understand who you talking to? Like folks have to respect me. I'm a legend. You see what I'm saying? Everybody came to me with their hands out. Everybody came to me with money. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like when people talk, that's what folks, want to do. Like, okay, I mean, you're gonna be wasting your time because the truth is gonna always echo, and it's always gonna prove itself. I'm not worried about that, bro. I'm a grown man. The truth is always going to rise. That's why the facts speak for itself. I'm not these little homies. I'm not these dudes on YouTube, bro. I'm a grown man that really, really has been on top of everything and handled not only my responsibilities but everybody else's. I've had to think for everybody and do everything for everybody for my entire life, bro. Okay, I grew up quick. That's what folks don't want to talk about. So no, like when I'm struggling, it's because it's a period of stagnation to make me stronger that God wants me to go through. It's something I have to go through, just like I had to go to rock bottom for me to blossom and to rise like the phoenix from the ashes and to be able to turn into this supernova star, unstoppable force of nature that I've become now. That's the only way I could get to that point. So that's the thing. People could feel any way they want, but these were the same folks that we know how they feel. They saw me ascending and they felt some way. Like I said, these folks have tried every trick in the book. They did everything they possibly could. Why is you and your feelings about my ascension? What is my ascension have to do with you or anything you got going on. Because the truth is that anyone who feels some way about stuff like that, they tend to have nothing going on. I'm just telling you the truth and the facts. Like, folks don't have anything they doing. No responsibilities, no projects. They're not making no money. They're not succeeding. They're not working. Like, it is what it is, bro. They've tried every trick in the book, man. And like I said, God continues to hold me down and always will. It's like I got a force field around me, and everything they do and say continues to backfire. And in the process, it exposes them and what they on and what they're trying to do. And that's what just happened, and that's what happens every day, and that's what will continue to happen, just like I told you. That's the thing. I feel great. I'm Gucci. You understand? Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, things are hard. I mean, hell, life is hard. Every day is hard. Like, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I do a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. You gotta, buck up and cowboy up and keep going, man. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. That's real. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. Like, folks don't listen, man. Most folks don't learn, bro. I know plenty of folks on social media, pretty much most of them, majority of people in the world right now, if you really pay attention to like what they do and how they move and their lifestyle, most of them go in and out of jail and prison. That's literally become like a way of life for people. Like, people accept that. Like, to me, that's complete utter failure. I will never ever go through that. I'll say confidently, I will never ever go to prison ever, and I'll never go back to jail. I can say that confidently. Why? Because I'm in control of my own future. I take matters into my own hands. I took my future into my own hands. I understand what I'm doing. Yeah. And what's great with my career, this is what these folks don't understand. I built my career to be kind of protective of all that. It's protective of my assets. It's protective of my freedom. It protects me in the first place because folks know about me and know what I do for a living. Why do you think I do what I do? See, that's the thing. Folks don't get it. I'm so gangster with it. I put on a bulletproof vest and literally I run every block. I run the streets. You understand? So it's different because they've never seen anyone do this before, especially independent. I don't work for no one. I don't have a boss. I come from a street corner and bad blocks, from ghettos and hoods. You understand? That's why this stuff is in me. See, y'all haven't seen what I've seen with my eyes. You haven't been like, I've been through these real projects and hoods and ghettos in Atlanta. I know what's out there. I know what they have access to. I know everything. I've been in every little house. I've been everywhere. That's what y'all don't understand. You don't know where I've been, Lou. You don't know where I've been. See, you don't seem to get it. I could touch down in any hood and I'm already good immediately. I don't need a pass. Don't ever give me a pass. I don't need one. I'm Tyree Sneed, dude. You understand? Like, people don't understand. I can go anywhere and talk to anyone, and immediately I make connections and I'm able to network. These folks, it's hilarious, man. Like, how do you expect to win, especially on a public network, if you can't network with the right people? And then it'd be crazy because it's a walking contradiction because they be trying to talk in the opposite sense, talking about a chat room. Remember they was talking about fan interaction? Well, I'm pretty sure, honey, that I've proven at this point that I can make plenty of dough and money without any fan interaction. And I clearly have more fan interaction than anyone because I told you a fan stopped me today and talked to me. Okay. And literally got in touch with me so we can talk. Like, fans be stopping me to talk to me and get in touch with me. Like tons of women, mostly women. I have a lot of women fans. So that's what I'm saying. Like, folks in their feelings, that's fine. I know why folks in their feelings. You understand? And like, that's besides the point for me. I'm too busy being me. I'm too busy being happy, working on what I need to work on and building. I don't have time for anything else. See, that's the thing. I don't process weakness and I don't process negativity. Anything like that, it's alchemized immediately. Whatever people coming on, whatever energy they on, I'm already alchemizing that and turning it into something positive, and I'm going to build something greater. That's what folks don't get. Every time folks send anything my way, spiritually in any aspect, God sends something back in tenfold, and then I alchemize that and I literally build something else, and then I rub it all in and make sure it's public. God don't play about me, honey. So like I said, that's the thing. A lot of people talk, but every word I speak is straight truth. That's the thing. That's why folks is like, man, when you talk, you just do it naturally. Well, yeah, because I had to walk the real walk. I do it naturally because I've been doing it for a minute and a long time. I had to teach myself how to do it. Like, what, you think I learned to do radio in 5 seconds? You know how many? I mean, it didn't take that long, but it took me doing repetitive shows and teaching myself how to get through a radio show on my own and how to talk. And now I'm just good at it and can do it automatically without thinking. I don't got to take no notes. I don't think I ever had to take notes. I'm trying to remember. There was a time when I first started when like I might have like tried to do that for just a little bit and like just to have like talking points maybe or something. But generally speaking, I mean, I was just, just talking. And when you do it enough years, you get real good at it. It's just like with the calisthenics training. You see, I've been training like that, I think about 3 years, kind of, on and off, or pretty solid for 3 years and pretty consistently, you know what I mean? Very consistently, actually. Because for a long time, I was training like every single day, and then I was still walking like what, 10, 20, 30 miles a day, or running and walking. So that's the thing people don't get. Like, I've paid a lot of dues. That's why I got to this point. Like, yeah, like repetition, the right repetition will really help you. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm just saying people got to get their priorities straight, man. Like, no, man, you want a public network, bro. You want to network with the big dogs on here, which I'm the big dog and I'm the only symbol of YouTube. And that's the thing. Folks want to talk. I mean, that's fine. You know what I mean? I mean, go right ahead. If you think that you know what you're doing, then you go ahead and do what you're gonna do. If folks think that they could do something better than me, then be my guest. It's just like they said in that street ball thing. He said, if you think you can get out there on that court and do something like they do or better than they can do, then you go ahead and do it. Because if you don't, what did he say? If you don't, you're going to feel embarrassed. And that's the deal, man. I got the street ball basketball lane on lock. I got the hip hop rap game on lock. I got the calisthenics game on lock, the working out game on lock, the strength game on lock. I got 470 world records, all tangible. Nobody can ever tell me anything. Folks say things that they know don't exist and don't make any sense. That's besides the point and a waste of my time. And then what they do is I'm just responding to them and they try to act like that means anything. Like that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm a grown man. You're speaking to me, right? Everything will have a response. Okay. I'm going to respond. Yeah, I stand on business. Like, no, I'm going to correct anything that doesn't make sense or is a lie. It's just that simple because I am the truth. That's what I'm saying. Like, reality can't be denied. Denial is not an option, just like I told you, and everybody knows it. So now what? You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, like, nah, man, y'all need to listen to me. Like I said, I'm doing the life coaching. Like I said, we offer customized videos for 25 bucks, 30-minute session, 50 bucks, right? 25 to 50, right? And an hour session, 75 to 100 bucks. And that's just talking to me so I can literally work on whatever the individual issue is with the client and customer and whoever. And that's what I want to do for right now. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, I love how folks, like, they're always talking. They always have something to say. But yet I got a full-fledged career and I continue to expand and I'm building and compounding businesses off of this and everything I'm doing. And I built all this with no opportunity, no options. And this is all I got still. This is all I can do. I don't have any other option. So what are you talking about? And I'm okay with that. I heard today they were talking and it was the same conversation and people keep pointing out the truth and saying the truth. And that's the thing. Like a lot of folks, they want to talk and they want to talk about this and that and blah, blah, but they don't want to look at like the reality of what their situation is. You understand what I'm saying? So like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not in their situation. Like that's the thing. Like, they talking about this and that and you can't tell anybody how they feel. And I mean, 9 times out of 10, if you talking about people feel some way, you probably project it, unless you me, because we know the truth because we see it every day. And I don't project, period. I've never done that. I talk forward. You know what I mean? I only way I do know how to talk is to talk reality and say the truth. Like what? That's my whole point. Like, no, like when folks get around me, I let them know immediately. Like, oh, like you're gonna talk to me with respect, and you're gonna talk forward, and we're gonna have conversations that make sense. Because I've noticed it like a trend, and it's odd. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, like, nah, like folks have some bread, folks got some money, folks is doing all right, they doing well, they doing good. Like I said, I need people like that want to see me win, who want to put money behind me and invest. Like I said, I ran this Batman project out of my own pocket for 3 years, bro. I spent thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars to do this. Okay, like Batman expends resources. Everything I do is 100% real and official tissue, and people know. So that's why it'd be funny to me when people ask, "Where's the scooter?" Is that a serious question? You're going to ask Batman, "Where's the scooter?" That doesn't make any sense. That's like asking Batman, it's identical to saying, "Batman, where's the bat pot?" "Batman, where's the tumbler?" Like, would you really ask him that? I mean, like, are you all ever serious at any point? Because see, that's what I'm saying. Folks can't even understand or fathom basic reality. This is not entertainment. This is not some kind of joke. I'm the real thing. So when resources get expended, ooh, a bat cycle, ooh, wow, what a big deal. Do you have any idea the kind of budget that it takes to be Batman? Do you have any idea how much money has been put into that Batman project independently? But folks want to talk about money. Oh, they want a pocket watch. They worried about what I got right now. Why you worried about how much I got right now when you not counting all the money I made and spent? Money is not something you hold. I've taught y'all this 8 million times. You don't hold cash. It's about what have you put into your business, how much money have you made and spent, and that's all that matters. If money hasn't been spent, well, then money doesn't have any purpose, so it's meaningless to hold it. So what are you talking about? This is exactly how I accomplished the impossible. I'm sitting here putting y'all up on game, trying to teach you something. I would suggest you listen, because that's the only way you're going to learn something. You understand? That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, do you think I would have succeeded the way I did? I defeated male and female witches coven. I defeated the entire Bavarian Freemasons. I defeated the entire Illuminati. I'm not talking. I didn't just defeat them. I called them out for years, and I outdid them financially before that. Okay, like I said, everybody knows what I do for a living. Okay. I don't got to keep on, listing all my victories. I could say more of them. Like I said, come on, bro. We all know what I do. I got so many W's. It's unbelievable. I can't even count them. Got more stripes than a zebra in the street. You know what I mean? And the more stripes I take, the more street cred I get, the more clout I get, and the more money I make. I want to give people a reminder. Remember, I'm on some street stuff. I run things at a street level. I'm the way that 50 Cent portrayed him, but I'm the real story. And to me, like I said, everything he talking about was made up. Okay? So what are you talking about? We know what it is with all them rappers. Okay, all them fake rappers sold their soul to the devil. My soul is priceless and my soul ain't for sale. So what's up? I want folks to understand how I came up hard, I came up difficult, I came up tough. Like I had to really do these things and really go through it. It's different. We're not the same. You understand? Hold up. So that's my whole point. Like, brother, oh man, that was nice. That's the ribs and the sternum there. But I kind of needed that. But that's what I'm saying, bro. Like y'all don't even understand how hard it is. And like, I turn pain into power, man. You have no idea, bro. Y'all have no idea how hard it is being me. You have no idea the odds I come up against every day. You have no idea that everything about me is about overcoming the impossible and impossible odds and overcoming every obstacle in my path. I'm Batman. That's exactly why. So see, that's my point. Like, I have fans because they know it's real. What I do is real. Everything I do is serious and real. Everything is official tissue. That's what I'm saying. I don't have time for anything else. I don't have time for play around, joke around energies. That's some joker stuff. I'm not on that. You know what I mean? I'm on being successful and I'm a very serious individual. So that's the thing. Like, folks know my energy and the energy I'm always in, which is serious business. So when they speak to me, they need to speak to me seriously and with some respect, correct? You see what I'm saying? I don't accept nothing else. I'm a real CEO. I do what I want to do. Y'all talk about Dame Dash. Like Dame Dash didn't pay rent on an apartment, like I said, for like a whole year that the rent was a 15,000 plus a month. Okay? He didn't pay it the entire year because Masons have no money. You just saw Floyd Mayweather go bankrupt and broke because Masons don't have no money. I've been teaching this and educating the public on this for decades. It's just crazy to me that folks want to conversate and talk and they want to defend an ideal and an idea that doesn't exist. You saw what happened with every single one of these fake rappers. If you just trace the patterns and the behavior and the patterns of behavior or the behavior patterns, you got to learn the patterns. Once you see the pattern, you can see how it works and you can see how it all comes from the devil because the system was created by the devil, just like the dollar bill and money and the root of all evil was created by the devil. And that's why the Illuminati slogan is to do what? To divide and what? That's what the devil wants to do. Like I said, y'all want to talk about money, but you don't even know what money is. You don't even know what money represents. You don't understand that money can be good and in the right hands, it can be used for good, like it's always been with me. It's I've always used it for good and help people. But it depends on who's holding that money and whose hands the money is in. Y'all think money solves every problem. Biggie Smalls rapped about it and said the truth. More money, more problems. And I know that's the truth. As a matter of fact, what you realize when you have money like that, because I mean, you talking to a dude that's literally the only self-made trillionaire who ever existed. I used to pay for everything and have extra stuff I didn't need because I thought that was coming up. I thought that was stuff you needed. And then I realized that having the stuff, I was paying almost $1,000 every single month for some nonsense. Remember? Because of Obama. Remember? So, I mean, I'm paying for it. And then I go into this office and I get denied because I have it. I'm like, so wait, I'm getting denied because I pay $1,000 a month. That makes sense. That's when I realized the truth. And I was rich at the time. Talking about over $300,000 in the bank, cashing, oil checks for $1,000. You understand? And I'm wealthy as hell. I'm going in there and I know who I am, so I ain't worried about nothing. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm a gangster, like for real. You know what I mean? That's the thing folks don't get too. Like when I get money, like I'm a whole different ball game then because then I really have no limits because I don't care. Now this time I'm gonna be real smart though. You know what I mean? And I was always smart. I never made mistakes. What I did is stood on business and I'm about my respect. I stand on everything I ever done and ever said straight up. People don't understand how much stuff I was involved in the past. They don't understand, like, bro, you have no idea, man. You have no idea how real I am. That's what people don't understand. Like, bro, I came a long way. And that's what I do thank God for every day. And I look at the situation, I look at the reality, and I think about it, and I'm like, man, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense because God be speaking to me every day through them readings, downloads, synchronicities, butterflies, everything. And he said word for word, he said that. He said, you don't realize how far you've come. You know what I mean? It's told me repeatedly. But thinking about it right now, I do. Because I think about it and I think about the past and I think about the positions I was in and the positions that I could have been in. And I realize it. It's powerful to me. It makes me want to cry almost, you know what I mean? Because I realize how far I've come. That's what folks don't get. Like I said, for me, my whole future was going to be way different. I thought I was going to be in and out of jail and prison for the rest of my life. I thought that was my job and responsibility and what I was supposed to do. Can you imagine having that kind of mind state? You know what I mean? I used to talk to people about God. I used to pull up in Florida in them hoods and ghettos, and all the grown folks that was way older than me would try to school me about it and talk about it. And they tell me about their situations and things they did, and I was actually the one that was sitting there talking like, yeah, but and I mean, I had some good points, don't get me wrong, and it wasn't saying that I didn't believe, I just didn't believe them. You know what I'm saying? I just was looking at them like nah, like, you know what I mean? They tell me, "Oh, yeah, I was in this position." And I'm like, "Well, yeah, I mean, isn't that of your own accord though?" Good. Like, I mean, isn't that your decision that you're, that angry? And you know what I mean? Like, I just was real, I would speak when I was younger still. Like, I would say whatever I needed to say right in front of you. You know what I mean? I've always been like this. And people know too. So that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, now I'm 36, bro. I was probably in my 20s to like 19 at that time. Can you imagine? Can you imagine now? That's a long time, bro. I've been working since I was 16, man. That's 20 plus years, bro. Okay. Never really stopped working, but I have everything to show for it. That's the difference. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, this little icon, that was pocket change. Like that wasn't even long ago. That was just recently. Like I said, what are y'all talking about? I was cooking. What are y'all talking about? I already ran my own restaurant. I ran a whole food truck by myself. I know how to do everything, like everything, bro. I turned it on. I ran everything. I had to deal with every aspect of that, and some of the aspects of it kind of suck. Okay, I shouldn't have to explain. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, right? Like you have to clean all that stuff, right? Like it's like a machine. You got to clean it. You understand? So, that's what I'm saying. And like we would have like limited water, like you could only kind of use certain water to wash your hands with, and then you'd have to go replace it. So I'd have to go get the hose and hook it up to the other hose. And like I'm talking, I'm going all over the lot trying to do this all the time. And then, when you get busy, you don't have time and you still got to go do it. And then you got to have, it's just a whole thing. And like I said, man, I had lines backed up till I was working 11 a.m. if I could till 4 or 5 in the morning. Sleep, I didn't even care about it or think about it because I was getting money. You understand what I'm saying? Like people loved my food. I had, chicks hollering at me, leaving me their numbers and stuff. Like that's the thing. Like I'm a real dude. I'm a cool person. I'm a good dude and I'm solid. You know what I'm saying? And that's the difference. Like you ain't gonna see me wasting my time. I'm all about business and bringing people up. You understand? Like I said, I can't wait, till I just get the right people who want to put me on, but it's going to take money. Like I need bread. And I'm going to say it again publicly. Send me $50,000 because that ain't nothing to me. That's what they need to send me. And God already said, it's time now. It's time to tell me the truth about all my money, about my inheritance. Like God is talking about this directly, not just to me, but to the public, to all of you. I know everything, bro. I know what's going on, bro. But that's what he said. He said they got to tell me the truth about my inheritance because I don't know the truth. I have no idea. All I know is that like I'm owed a lot of money, and I'm guessing properties, probably like oceanfront, waterfront properties. Like I said, I think there's a safe deposit box with keys in it to properties and all sorts of stuff, deeds, everything. You know what I mean? I'm pretty much positive. And I'm talking properties probably in Cali. And that's what I want. I want to live in like California, for a minute. You know what I mean? Like if I could get properties in Cali, boy, that'd be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that would be the first thing. Like I would get on top of everything. I'd get on top of the taxes with it. I'd get on point. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing, bro. Like I don't know. I just know how to move now from life experience. That's the thing. Everything happened so quick and I made every right decision. So that's what I'm saying. Like, folks can't tell me nothing. So what you mean? See what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like the only conversation anyone can have with me is, man, you a straight boss. You have any idea what I've accomplished, man? And like I said, then they want to talk about so-called women. So-called women go to a 9 to 5 every day, almost every single one of them, and waste their time and don't know how to build anything independently or for themselves. That's the truth. You listen to them, you ain't going to get nowhere. And that's not anything speaking but straight facts and the truth. See, that's the point. Like, nah, what they need to do, the real women, if you a real woman, then what they need to do is put some money behind me because I'm the genius. See, that's the thing. All it takes is a girlfriend, partner with some money who want to put me on right? And I'm not about money. I don't care about money, but I'm just saying that's what I need. And the reason why is because once the door gets open and the gateway gets open and the gate gets open for me to just get my foot in the door with anything where, hey, I got enough money to work with someone so I can build a restaurant. I can build anything for you. Absolutely anything. I build businesses in 5 seconds in my sleep. I can go to any city if I have the money, and the first thing I'm doing is I'm figuring out, I'm going to town hall or whatever, wherever I got to go to ask these questions and say, what kind of business license do I need? What certificate? What do I need so that I can open this business? If it's a restaurant, if I want to wholesale clothes or name branding clothes, name brand clothes, status symbol clothes, as well as my own clothing line that we already unveiled on this channel, mind you. Thank you very much. You know what I mean? And this is a clothing line that I developed the logo and idea years ago. I mean, I had a clothing line in the past that I tried to bring out. It's just I had too much money and I didn't know how to really sell it to folks because I didn't know how to approach them and speak to them. And that's what I'm saying. Money doesn't teach you everything. I'll trade money for knowledge any day. Life taught me this. So now I can approach anyone and speak to them, and now I'd be a lot better at selling it. At the time I had too much money and I was, I didn't have the right mentality to do it because I didn't have any desire to do it. I was just making the shirts because I thought they were cool. I tried to do it, but like I said, the one dude just ran off with my shirts, right? Because he wanted money for whatever his problem was, and I'm sitting here trying to build a business. You know what I'm saying? But even when I had mine, I didn't know how to sell them. I didn't know how to just walk up to a stranger. Now I'm like the Wolf of Wall Street. I could sell you anything. You know what I mean? Seriously. That's what I'm saying. You have to go through the different stages in life. Just like Haystack said, he said, folks lose their money and they don't know who they are. It's because you didn't work that job, the janitor job, and all the jobs at the bottom and climb your way up. That's where people will get me wrong because they'll mistake my confidence for arrogance, right? When it's not. It's confidence based off of what I've done. You have no idea what I've done. You couldn't fathom what I've accomplished. Okay. I've done things that made me look back at myself like, man, you're a straight genius. And I mean in every aspect. Okay. So I'm not in the position I'm in for no reason. I'm in the position I'm in because I earned it. I'm in the position I'm in because of the mechanism that I just turn on within me. I know I'm a gangster. I'm in the position I'm in because I had to get there because I'm trying to survive. So that sounds like a very real individual, right? That sounds like a dude who doesn't play games, who's about his business, and is a full-fledged gangster and a thug. Batman is a thug. That's what he is. You know what I mean? That's exactly how they refer to him. That's what he is. So that's my point. Like with me, everything is real. And what people don't get is they've never seen it before because you don't get to see a street dude, much less a gangster or a thug who isn't devoid of knowledge. Does that make sense? You don't get to see an intellectual gangster that's really intellectual. See, you'll see them groups, right? You'll see the culture talk about whatever and entertain the conversation and say what I'm saying in an opposite set, tone, and force. But are they really intellectuals? Because an intellectual is going to have a rap sheet like me where he's had all these receipts with all this money he's made and spent, all this success, all this stuff he's built. I've had to build stuff online in 5 seconds just so I could survive. You folks haven't been in my shoes. These folks act, they forget so quickly. They forget that I'm a hustler. I'm gonna figure it out one way or another. Even God told me, I got a message download the other day, said you'll find a way. I'm seeing some of the ways right now, but the ways that I'm seeing are out of my way and stuff I don't want to do. I don't want to participate in any of that stuff no more. I don't. There's nothing wrong with it, but in my eyes, there is. Like my life force is my life force. I want to keep that. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So I'm not trying to participate in that. And like I said, I got lawsuits that are going to be filed with all that too, because everything that's going on behind this. So for me personally, I'm good, bro. I don't want to participate in nothing except what is of God. That's just how I feel. And that's the thing. What I'm building here, man, this is of God, man. You know what I mean? This was God's idea. He told me straight up. You feel me? So for me, I don't know, man. I can't believe I've gotten this strong. I can't believe I'm at the level I'm at. I can't believe the quickness, the agility. I'm obsessed with it. And I'm not an actor. This is not Scott Atkins. Like I see videos about Scott Atkins way beyond him, bro. The only thing he can do better than me is like the kicks and stuff because he did it for years and he clearly did gymnastics and stuff. I did ice skating, so I have the balance and I was better than the girls when I was a kid ice skating. But my point is, you know, I can't do all that stuff yet because I don't know how you learn to do it. But if I was taught, I'm pretty sure I could pick it up in 5 seconds. And I don't really like doing flips and stuff because I'm tall and I'm just not good at it. But I'm working my way there. And you can see with the kicks, I mean, I've mastered the tornado kick. That's real. I really did that. When you're seeing me do the two repetitive movements, that's what they do in these tournaments. In case you're wondering why I'm doing that. That's the footwork. You understand? And I use my own footwork. I don't copy nothing. Everything is my own original style. Everything. I just learn. And I'm learning every discipline of martial arts I can, every style of martial arts in the book that's in creation, I'm trying to learn. And I'm moving pretty quickly. The aerial spin kicks, I'm doing those. I've never done those before. I mean, I've done the kicks jumping in the air for years. I've worked on those, but they're way different than what I'm doing now. I mean, the spin kick, I wasn't doing any of that stuff. All this turnaround action stuff, all that stuff works for tournaments. I can go compete in tournaments once I get bread and money and I'm comfortable and I can get, everything, adequate resources and everything that I need. I mean, I can do tournaments, bro. Do people understand this? And like them tournaments are pretty safe. Like they're not bad. You wear a whole bunch of padding and stuff and you go out, you know what I'm talking about? It's like ninja karate, like kung fu. It's like all them styles of martial art, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like I've watched little parts of some of them. I don't think any of them dudes could hold a candle to me. They could maybe win. I mean, if they get lucky or something, or they're just really, really talented, but like I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty quick, bro. And I'm fast and I can jump a little. Like I'm quick as hell. So, I mean, I don't know if it would just be kicks in the tournament, you know what I mean? That would make it a little more difficult. If it's anything else, I'm pretty much guaranteed to win because I'm really an expert with 52 blocks. Like I said, you got dudes on here like I'm Mr. 52. He didn't make a future with 52 blocks. I did. He had an attitude when I was, in his comment section, trying to be nice, trying to say what's up so I could pay him to train me. I was going to pay him to be my coach when I had over $300,000 in the bank. So I'm Mr. 52. The reason that you're poor and you never made it in 52 blocks or martial arts or a future and you're in and out of prison all the time because you're doing silly stuff in the streets and the projects because you keep making mistakes and you're a grown man who can't get his act together. That's the facts, right? The reason you don't have any money and you're poor is because you didn't take me up on my offer. You wanted to be sensitive and say, oh, well, why should I care what you think and this and that and blah, blah, blah. That other fake rapper from Philly did the same thing with the record deal. Remember that? A lot of folks have been fronting and you see what group and you see what it's coming from, right? I don't care what nobody says, man. All that stuff come from the same group. It all come from the culture. You understand? Because it's always, it's always being devoid of knowledge is valued over knowledge and being precise and moving the right way and respect. Had he just been respectful, he would have been put on. I literally was going to fly him out here. He would have had a whole hotel house, full access. I would have paid for everything. He would have been good. It was a different time. I was moving differently. I would have had everything provided and I would have been chilling with him. And I said, I was going to put like $1,000 in his pocket immediately. Just give him 1,000. Just so he could rap with me and be on my label. And this dude wants to talk about he want to front and he literally played himself out of record deal and he's still sitting in prison to this day. Are you serious right now? Every single person that went against me, I've watched anything they built fall and crumble. If they had an empire, it crumbled. Every person that ever went against me in my entire life, I am walking karma. I have seen it happen with every single individual ever. And I'm talking serious karma. I'm talking the most serious situation, the things you could ever see transpire. I've seen God rain down fiery hell every single time. and use me to do it half the time. That's what folks don't get. I told folks a long time ago, bro, I've been doing this my whole life. I bounce back and then I come do exactly that. You don't seem to get it, bro. God is real, man. All my actions are righteous. My actions were never in question. What do you mean? I'm sitting here minding my own business. I'm sitting here helping people. I'm sitting here spreading love and positivity. What are you talking about? That's what I'm saying. Can you imagine thinking that you can speak for other people? I'm a grown man, bro. What? See how easy it is to unravel false testaments and things that don't exist? Like I said, you see Coach Eli, he dealing with court dates right now. I told you, there most of the folks and creators, like Breezy Brooks said on this platform, and people who speak publicly are all in the middle and mix of and involved in lawsuits. Why? Because you have these underground illegal organizations that keep hiding behind the internet using the internet. And the problem with that is the feds and the FBI and the CIA are tracking this now, and they're listening to people like me, right? And again, I mean, I'm bringing a lot of evidence forth publicly. That's my job. I don't work for no one. I'm just a regular civilian, but I bring evidence forth publicly and use my voice to do something good and make a change. And then I go out in the street because I'm Batman. You see the point? So no, the Batman does a lot. Batman gets a lot done and works 24 hours a day and has a lot of matters that is national and worldwide at this point that I handle. That's just a fact. So you see what I'm saying? Like I don't have time for distractions. I got to work, bro. You know how much crime and corruption is going on in Texas alone, much less this entire country and world. Are you serious? Like, bro, I have a job to do, man. That's what I realized for me. Like, I don't have time, bro. I need to focus. You know what I mean? And I've been focused. Like, I haven't wasted a second. I've all my time has been my time is precious, period, and precious to me. I'm being resourceful with my time. I have a job to do, and that's the way I look at it. And it's an independent job too. That's the coolest part because I built my own career and I build my own funding, and God literally produces my budget. My budget comes from God and my hard work and hustle. That's the thing too. God wants you to give me credit too. See, that's the thing. Like if I have a partner or a girlfriend, you can't just be like, not giving me credit. I mean, I'm who worked and built all this. I did it all. God wants to give me credit too. I'm who did it. I just always give credit and glory to God. I have no issue doing it because I mean, to me, He's who helped me to do everything. We did it together. You understand? That's the fact. So, like I said, I mean, I'm going to continue to push forward and do what I'm doing. My stand against crime and corruption is real. Like I said, I stand up for your civil rights and civil liberties and people. I'm a real activist. And I've already made a huge positive change, especially in the Valley, but I want to make a positive change everywhere. And that's what I'm realizing. God built me this way and made me this way and made me super strong so I could help other people. And that's what He said. He said, you're going to help other people out of the darkness that you came out of. You understand? So that's the point. Like, I'm here to help people, man. I'm an angel for real. I'm an earth angel. I'm a literal angel, and I'm going to do what I need to do. And that's why I keep surviving the impossible. That's why I keep trying to explain to you I'm an immortal vampire. I could care less what people feel or say because I mean we got an angel in the house, people. You see the difference? A real angel walking around this planet and in the building. That's the facts. That's why it's different. You understand? So I mean, like I said, it's real as hell. What do you think Batman is, bro? He's got a cape and basically wings. He flies. That's an angel. It's an earth angel, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like every once in a while, God sends, I believe God sends one like me. I mean, I don't know how long it takes or what. I don't know if there's more of me. I'm sure, but I mean, every once in a while, He sent one like me down here to help people. You know what I mean? Because we need it, dude. So that's what I'm saying. Like again, I appreciate the Valley. I appreciate the support. Like, no, people have been very supportive. It's just like it's in spurts. You know what I'm saying? It's just enough. You know what I mean? It's small stuff. But I'm just hoping that we can get a wave of support to come in. I'm hoping that we can get major support. And that's the thing. Like when these folks are talking, I'm talking to the public, man. I'm going to get the public on my side. I already did. I already won everyone over. I already got support. That's why everybody's honking at me and they're a fan and they recognize me even when I'm not in the bat suit and I'm trying to hide. I'm just kidding. But my point is they see me even they know who I am regardless, right? So I'm already a celebrity. I'm already famous to a very high level and extent, and God continues to build that fame. Like I said, He told me I'm going to get paid to exist, so it makes perfect sense. Like the more I've never been after attention, but I got it naturally. I never even asked for the attention; it's all coming to me. So it's just like Max B said, folks want to be attached to it, and they ain't got nothing to do with it, and there's no way to do that. So I mean, you're gonna have to go on about your business now. See my point? But my deal is the more attention I get, the more fame, productivity, whatever. My name being said, the more gossip. All that gossip just made me more famous. So what's going to happen is though that gossip is going to come across the right ears, and somebody's going to hear in a position of power that actually has some money or is in a position to use whatever to have some money, and they're gonna be like, man, I'm gonna put this dude on and give him an opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm gonna have him do what he does on a major scale. Somebody's gonna fund this project. I funded it for 3 years, and like I said, my main goal is to get to 10 years as the real deal. That's my goal. So the Batman project, basically, it's already been ran, going on 3 years. My 3-year anniversary is coming around the corner. It's all been 100% real. It's just at one point I said I fell back a little bit, and I said, I want to focus on the training, and that's it, because I'm looking to expand because I already accomplished everything and everything is safe. Everything is good. I already saved the city and all that, literally. So I got so much done so quickly, and that's the way you do it. If you a genius, then you're going to move like that. You're going to move correctly. So then I fall back and do my thing in the training. I've got 470 tangible world records. They're all on camera. Can't nobody do what I do on these bars, pretty much. Nobody. I invite anyone to try. You know what I mean? CEO of Bar for Bar Fitness. Like I said, I can get all these organizations up and running completely. Most of them, all my companies, I keep ideas. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like every move I make is beneficial for me. I know exactly what I'm doing. And all I got to do is just keep up with this and build careers off of it. You understand? So just build and build and build. And like that's why I'm going to get the journal and write down ideas and business ideas. And every day while I'm working on the Batman project, still nonstop. And that means, furthering my strength levels, getting stronger and stronger, getting faster, getting quicker. Like a lot of it, most of it is physical because that's what I love to do. So it's perfect for what I love to do. Because that part is not work to me. That's the fun part for me. And then, like I said, you saw me use the bicycles, you saw me have the bat cycle, right? Like I knew what I was doing the entire time. That's why folks like there's videos of me all over, bro, flying on bicycles and you know, uh bat cycles and like that's the thing. People really saw me get active and get busy. I was getting a lot done. I don't just ride around. What do you mean? You talking about when we a live stream? Yeah, well, that's the parts you get to see because I'm showing you. You know what I mean? And even on live stream, you see what it is, right? If you pay attention, it doesn't need to be explained, right? You see that everything I'm saying is true, right? So, you know what I mean? Like it's all self-explanatory. So that's the thing, man. Folks wish they were me. They wish they wish they could walk in my shoes. You know what I mean? And my shoes probably cost a couple of racks, so you probably couldn't afford it. So that's the thing, people, feel some way because everybody love me. People feel some way because they know people gonna gravitate to me, and my energy is magnetic wherever I go, whatever I do. Like I could walk into a restaurant down here, bro, and like every woman in sight is like staring at me, and they're like, "Who is that?" Like I have magnetic energy. It's just what it is. I don't even try, and I mind my own business. I'm just nice to people. I don't go out my way to holler or talk to women. I don't do nothing, bro. I just mind my own business and be me. You know what I mean? Like I said, I just know what I need at this point. That's what I need. Even if it starts off as a friendship or whatever, I need like a partner. I need, some woman that's a real woman to step up and help me do what I'm doing here. And I've been needing that and I've been saying that. This is not new. It's not me just talking. I just know that's what I need. I need someone who's actually supportive and knows how to build and be a normal person and wants to like take me on trips and have me go have fun and do stuff. And that's the thing. I'm not holding back. I'm gonna go live life. That's the thing. That's why I tried to touch base with folks online. I gave everyone every ample chance to talk and get in touch with me and have one, basic conversation so I could know where we stand and what's what, right? I'm single, bro. I'm doing what I want to do. You know what I mean? Like folks have not spoken to me. They don't get in touch with me. I mean, all they got to do is donate $1 and leave a phone number or an email. Like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't got to keep re-explaining or explain what's understood. I don't know who anyone is online. No emails, no nothing. There's too much going on. So, like I said, it doesn't matter who it is. Anyone has to send $1 or donate and say, "This is me. I'm real. This is what it is." Email, phone number, something. And everybody got a phone, man. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's self-explanatory at this point, man. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I'm gonna keep moving forward. We're gonna keep on working, but I need funding, man. That's all. Like I said, I want them to send me $50,000. That shouldn't be nothing. Because, like I said, I know that trust had a lot more money in it. And all this allegedly has to do with who? Carly Fiorina. We'll say allegedly, but we all know the truth. You understand? So, like I said, and that's the thing. We don't even ever talk about that because we stay positive over here. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. What I look like talking about anything that has no relevance. I talk about, if I want to talk about people much less, I try to talk about folks that succeed at something. You see my point? And I'm not even being funny, I'm being real. Like I said, man, God is real, man. God is real. God is God protects me. I got divine protection. God is handling everything. He handling all that. God is handling everything. You know what I mean? God always fixes every situation and sets every situation straight. You understand? Me, all I got to do is sit back and watch and watch God do his thing. God gonna handle it. God handles everything. Karma is real. God is real. That's what folks fail to understand on here. You know what I mean? God's been handling it. He's been handling it. I've been seeing it. You know what I mean? So that's all I got to say for right now, man. But like I said, I'm going to keep on accomplishing the impossible. This is very serious what I'm doing. And that's the thing. I don't have no time to waste, bro. I'm not trying to have no discussions with people unless they're about their business. Unless you talking, you paying me, I don't see what we got to talk about. Unless you're doing something for me. And again, to the people who've held me down along the way and helped me whatsoever, I don't care how small it was. I'm extremely grateful. Thank you. And from the bottom of my heart, and it means everything. And that's all I can say. And like I said, I'm gonna continue to rep the valley and carry the valley on my back. And that's a big deal with everything that I've been through and all the adversity I went through. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna continue to do that no matter what. So I'm a real man. I'm the only real man who ever existed, and I'm gonna continue to stand on business and practice what I preach. Number one, first and foremost, but I'm gonna continue to preach positivity and bring unity. On that note, I'll talk to you in a minute, man. Keep it real. For real.